Hello, I'm Ngamisile Pamela Ngubane, and this is the Entity Dynamics podcast. Entity Dynamics is a culture development consultancy where we believe that culture creates behavior and behavior creates reality. So, the title of this video is Election Campaign Advice. So, a couple of months ago, whatever, I was asked to join someone's political party, whatever. And I was kind of like, no, bro, I'm so out of politics now. But I can give you some advice on what I think would constitute a sound election campaign for a small party that's just starting out. Okay. So what I said was, first of all, be honest about your motivations. Like, why are you getting into politics, right? Why are you running for parliament? Are you doing it because you want to make money from being a politician? And if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. That's cool, whatever, no judgment, right? But what I was saying was if you want to actually be an agent for change in the community you're from, in the country, and that's why you're running for office, then I think I have an option for you, okay? So what I said was, first of all, you need to acknowledge that, right, the definition of politics, which I learned in, I think, my only politics class that I actually ever sat in when I was at university, because politics for me is boring. Okay, there's no humanity in that. That's why I ended up in history. Anyway, so what they teach you is the definition of politics is who gets what, when, where, and how. Okay, and so you being in parliament, you being a ward councillor, a municipal manager, whatever, you have access to the taxpayer funds, which are then used for service delivery. Okay. And in that process, you as the government person determines who gets what, when, where, and how. Okay. You are responsible for distributing tax money into service delivery programs, okay, and infrastructure development programs, whatever. Developing the society, the infrastructure that will make people's lives functional and good, right? So I said to him, that's why you're getting into politics. That's what you're going to be doing when you're there. So you need to understand that. So you need to know what your plans are going to be when you get there, okay? So now we have local government elections coming up in South Africa. I think it's in November this year. And I think that if you're a small political party and you want to get into politics because you do want to be an agent for change, then a process where you work with your community members, okay, to create a nonprofit organization or a couple of them, right, which then become the vehicle through which you campaign. Okay. So now there's obviously legal ramifications here. You can't just be like a political party and an NPO. The NPO has to be a separate legal entity from the political party. Okay. But there's nothing stopping you having an NPO through which you effect positive change in the community and then through which you campaign. There's nothing legally wrong with that. The only issue would be that if you had to take funds for the NPO to use for your political party, and if you had to take political party funds to use in your NPO, that's when there's a conflict of interest type of thing. But there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And then what you'd have to do is make sure that the NPO basically becomes the arena for policy formulation for your political party, and that the party officials come from the NPO. Okay. Now, the good thing about this, the way I see it, is that if you're a small political party, all right, the competition is massive. Okay. I think it's like 500 parties across the country, not all competing nationally, but in different wards and councils and municipalities, etc., right? Districts, zones, whatever. If you have this NPO political party hybrid model, okay, you then have a situation where after the elections, because, I don't know why politicians like to do this weird thing where they'll be like, when we take over the government of South Africa, like, dude, get a grip. You're not winning any elections, okay? Chances are you might get a seat in the ward council, okay? But you need to make the most of that seat, obviously. Whatever gains you get, you have to make the most of it. So now the thing is, after the elections, and I've seen this because I've been involved in electoral campaigns, right? After the elections, if your party doesn't do well, okay, all those people that you had like distributing t-shirts and posters and pamphlets and talking to people and campaigning for you, if you don't do well, they will disappear like the morning mist, okay? You're never going to see them again. And they're going to be so disappointed in you, especially if you're one of those obtuse people who likes to be like, we're going to win this election and we're going to be in parliament and whatever. Like, okay. If you don't do well, right, but you've got this NPO situation going on, it means that the people who are campaigning for you are still going to have a job for your party through the NPO. They're still going to be involved in community development, which is why they joined you in the first place, right? Was because they wanted to be, along with you, under your leadership, agents for change in their community. So if you have the NPO program as a hybrid partner to your political party campaign and political party setup, it means that after the elections, your people are not sitting around disillusioned, angry, sad, feeling like they wasted their time and money, right? They are still busy doing the work that they want to do through being elected into office, okay? And if you guys do get a seat or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, in the municipality, in the ward, right? Your NPO, ne, is through you, okay? Obviously, like I say, there are legal ramifications, so research this properly so you're not like caught for conflicts of interest in any way, okay? Obviously, maybe you have to keep it like hush state, but there's nothing wrong with an NPO and a political party seeing eye to eye and working together. You just need to clear it, like just do some research. But it's a thing. I researched it. It's possible. There are ways to do this. Okay. So if you get a seat, then that NPO of yours, it's not that you're going to be giving it money. It's not that you're going to be giving it money, but you are going to be able to have a vehicle through which you report back to your community, where you can say, look, guys, we have this NPO. I'm in the ward. This is what I'm doing. What are your ideas? Okay. This is how you form a real grassroots movement that is like entrenched now, because through the NPO, you have access to your community. You have a vehicle to communicate to them and to hear from them what they want to see from you, and for you to also drive service delivery in a concerted way to achieve the long-term goals of your NPO branch. Okay. Now, I figure that if a lot of small political parties had this type of approach, right? Even if people are not getting elected, right? It still creates a fundamental chain reaction of change in the society, because now people are involved at the grassroots in methods and processes that are involved in the political process, but where social development is also happening in their own hands in real time. This is where you start to have collaborations between local government and local communities, which is what democracy is actually about. Okay, it's not about voting every 4 or 5 years. It's about actually being civically engaged in development and in service delivery, holding the government accountable, being aware of the processes through which your lives are governed, through which your tax dollars, because even if you pay VAT, you're still paying tax. You don't have to have a job to pay tax in South Africa. You pay VAT and it's like 15% of what you buy every day, right? You have a right to be involved in how your tax funds are used. So get involved and let me know what you think.